You can get away with mediocre video, but bad audio? Now that is sure to make people click away immediately. So today, I'm reviewing the Maono PD200W. It's a hybrid microphone that can record in 3 different modes. And one of those modes completely made me rethink how I'm going to record audio for YouTube. So some quick transparency up front, Maono did send me this microphone, but they didn't tell me what to say. They didn't give me any kind of script. They didn't ask me to do a positive review. It's simply 100% my opinion on what this mic is and how I think this mic performs. And just so you know, this hasn't been a one-day test. I've actually used this microphone on a few of my videos already. If you go back and check out some of my videos, you might actually see this mic in the videos. So instead of just talking about specs in this video, I'm gonna actually put this mic through some real-world tests. I wanna see how this mic actually performs. The Maono PD200W is designed for content creators, YouTubers, editors, podcasters who want broadcast quality audio without locking themselves into a single setup. The big idea behind this mic is flexibility, and that all comes down to the hybrid design. Now, before we dive into testing this mic, let's go ahead and take a look at what you get in the box. In the box, you get the PD200W microphone already mounted in a shock mount, along with a desk mic stand so that you can just start recording immediately. This particular package includes a USB-C wireless receiver, which is the one that I'm going to be using in the video. There are also other receiver options available. There's a 3.5mm wireless receiver that works with cameras, and then there's also a lightning receiver that works with iPhones. You can purchase those receivers separately, or you can choose a specific bundle that includes the one that you need. One really cool thing about all of these different types of receivers is that you can connect 2 of these microphones to the receiver, which works really well for something like podcasting or doing some sort of interview where you have a host and a co-host or a host and a guest. Being able to connect 2 different microphones to the one receiver is definitely a game changer. You also get a USB-A to USB-C cable. Plus, you get a USB extender that has both A and C on it, and this makes it so much easier to connect to computers or devices where the ports aren't easy to reach. Okay, so let's talk about the hybrid concept for a second. The Maono PD200W gives you 3 ways to record broadcast-grade audio. You can use it in 2.4 GHz wireless mode. You can also use it in USB plug-and-play. And then finally, you can use XLR mode, which allows you to connect to professional audio interfaces. And now the wireless mode is the standout here. So instead of just talking about it, let's actually hear it in action. Right now, you're hearing the PD200W in wireless mode. Same room, normal talking head distance, very close to the actual wireless receiver. The mic uses a 30mm dynamic capsule and a cardioid pickup pattern. And what that means is that it focuses on the voice that's in front of it, and it rejects all of the different sounds that are around it in the room or anything behind it. It's mainly focused on your voice that's in front of it. Even right out of the gate, the noise is clean and controlled. So what I want to do is take the mic on a quick little journey to kind of show off its wireless capabilities. So I'm going to actually leave the room with this microphone. I'm going to leave the receiver in the camera so that as I go further away with the microphone, we can see how the actual quality stands up as I go further away from the receiver. I'm interested to see how walls and doors and things like that, or maybe even going upstairs, that kind of stuff, how getting away from the receiver affects the actual microphone. So I'm going to go on a little journey, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm leaving the room right now. I'm just gonna walk into some different rooms here just to see how the mic fares as I'm walking away from the receiver. Now, I'm interested to see how it sounds as I kind of turn away from where I know the receiver is. So I'm going through different rooms here. I'm going to close a door and see how that actually affects the microphone to see if it affects the signal. I'm in a completely different room here in a closed room with the door closed. So we'll see how that sounds. Now I'm walking around through the house just to kind of see how the actual microphone sounds as I'm going away from the receiver. I'm going to walk upstairs. Okay, so now I'm upstairs. It'll be interesting to see how the mic actually fares being this far away from the receiver. Now I'm just in a different room here, completely away from the receiver. The door is closed. There's walls in the way. So I want to see how this actually gets affected by all of these different obstacles that are in the way of the receiver. Now I'm going to head back to the studio and we can keep talking about this. Okay, I'm back in the studio here, and so I can't actually hear what it sounded like until I'm done recording all this, so I'll talk about it more after I get to the editing process. So this is me during the editing process watching this back, and I just have to say, I'm blown away by the quality of this microphone, by how well the actual signal held up as I was walking through the entire perimeter of my house. I'm walking through all sorts of rooms. I mean, I'm going to like each corner of the house. You don't actually see where I'm going in the video, but I'm walking all over the house and the quality of the sound stays strong the entire time. I'm truly impressed by it. Now, Maono also claims up to 60 meters of range for the wireless receiver. So let's go test that. I'm going to go outside and we're going to actually do a real physical test outside. It's a little bit windy outside, so let's see how the actual microphone fares as we go further and further away from the receiver. This is going to be a real-world outdoor test of the Maono PD200W's wireless capabilities. Maono says that the receiver on this can go up to 60 meters away. So we're going to actually test this out. I'm going to go a couple distances down the street here, and I want to see how well the actual microphone sounds at those distances away. So we'll check out what 30 meters sounds like, and then we'll check out what 60 meters sounds like. Now, this is what the mic sounds like at 30 meters away. So you decide what you think. How does it sound at 30 meters away? I'm interested to go back and actually look at the video and see what this sounds like. Now, this is what the mic sounds like at 60 meters away. 60 meters is a pretty good distance, as you can see. And I think that the mic sounds pretty good for 60 meters away. I don't think there's really going to be a need for it to be 60 meters away in most cases, but it's kind of cool to actually have this ability just to be able to play with and have fun with it. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's kind of impressive. To be honest with you, I don't really know if there's ever a reason why that would be needed. I can't see a reason where I would ever use this microphone where I'm 60 meters away from the actual device that's recording me, but the fact that we have that capability with this microphone just makes it all that much more versatile, because I'm sure there's somebody out there, one of you is going to find a reason why you need this thing to be 60 meters away from the receiver. Okay, so now let's switch over to USB mode. I'm going to actually take this USB cable right here, I'm going to plug it into the mic, plug it into the camera, and let's see how the audio sounds that way. Now, this is as simple as plugging into the device, plugging into the mic with your USB cable, and then you're done. There's no actual setup involved here. There's no drivers needed. There's no software needed. You just plug it in and you're ready to record. This is perfect for like desk-based creators or people like me who sit at a desk and talk about things like this. Being able to just kind of quickly plug into your device. This is a really good feature. And the overall sound quality for me is really good. I think that the sound quality when it's plugged in as USB is outstanding. And this is the mic in XLR mode connected to a professional audio interface. This is the most traditional and stable setup. And the nice thing about this microphone is that it doesn't limit you. It grows with your setup as you upgrade your gear over time. I'm interested to hear in the comments how you felt about each of the different modes. Did you think that one of the different modes was better than the other? I'd love to hear your comments down below. So those are the 3 different modes that we have with this mic, but there's so much more that we can do with this mic. Maono actually provides us with some software called Maono Link that we can actually change a lot of the different settings and controls about this mic itself. So let's dive in and take a look at that really quick. Now, after you've downloaded the Maono Link app, you can go over here, open it up, and then the first time that you open it up, it's going to look for your actual wireless receiver. And when it finds the wireless receiver here, then all you have to do is click on the actual microphone that you want to use, and then you can go in here and we can change a whole bunch of different things. So if you want more control over your microphone, this is the place to get it. Now, again, you don't really need this app to get good sound, but it's great for dialing things in once and then just forgetting about it. Now, over here, we have a bunch of different stuff. So first of all, we can control the gain of the microphone. That's actually the overall volume. You can kind of decrease it and get a little less, increase it, get a little more. You can also control the headphone volume here. That's if you have headphones plugged into the back of the mic as a monitor, you can control their volume here. Now let's talk about noise cancellation for a second here, because this mic has some really good noise cancellation features. I'm going to turn on a fan in this room, but it's also raining outside, so there's probably a decent amount of like ambient noise happening in this room. So I'm going to turn this fan on, so you'll probably start to hear a difference in ambient noise. And now that we have that ambient noise, I want to show you the different noise cancellation options. So first of all, I'm going to uncheck it, and this is what it sounds like without noise cancellation. Now, If we enable noise cancellation, we have three different options here. Now, the slight noise cancellation, that's somewhere around like negative 13 decibels. And basically, this is just a light cleanup, and it's great if your room is already fairly quiet, but you just want to add a little bit more polish to it. So the slight noise cancellation sounds like this. Now, the next option we have here is moderate. So I'm going to click on that and let you hear it. Now, moderate noise cancellation is about negative 20 decibels. So this is probably going to be like the sweet spot for most home creators. It cleans things up without sounding too aggressive. And then finally, over here, we have the aggressive option. Now, aggressive is about negative 28 decibels. And this mode is great if you have a very untreated room with noisy environments where you really need to control that background noise. And having these different noise cancellation options here is an excellent feature for when you're using the microphone. I'm going to set it back to slight because sometimes when you get too aggressive with your noise cancellation, you can get some distortion in the sound. So it really ends up being kind of a dance a little bit to figure out which noise cancellation is going to work best for you. Now over here we have a tab called Scenes. This is a really good place to be able to control the EQ of your sound. Basically you have a whole bunch of different presets here. So you have the original preset, that's just kind of a flat EQ here. You have podcast presets, and that changes the way that the mic sounds. You could probably hear the difference in the voice when I made that change. Now there's different options in here. You have different versions of the podcast scene. And then you also have a game scene. That's going to actually change the way that it sounds even more. And again, you have different configurations for that. You also have the sing option. The sing option is going to make the sound much more reverby. It's going to sound like it's in a bigger room. Now, the nice thing about scenes is that you can create your own. You can actually create your own scenes. And what you end up really creating here is basically an EQ preset. It allows you to tone shape and to add reverb and to do different live monitoring and have different sounds that are more actually appropriate for the voice or for your voice. You can create your own scenes that match your own voice. If you want to create a new scene, you can either make a copy of a scene like this. So if I wanted to copy original, I could click on that, and that would actually create a copy of the original here. And then I could rename it. So I could call it Sean. And now I have a Sean EQ preset basically that I can then go through and I can adjust and figure out where I want my voice to be. And I can try to find, maybe like the sweet spots here and see if I can get my voice to sound a little bit better like this. And you just kind of play around with it. You can create your own preset to build an actual profile for your voice that sounds ideal for your voice. And if you have a preset in here that you don't like, you can just make sure that you've selected it. You can go over to more, and then you can click delete. And then click yes, and that preset's now gone. And it's just a really cool way to be able to manage your own presets, create your own EQ presets so that you can have the sound that you want with this microphone. And then finally, over here, you have the light option. This is going to actually manage the RGB light that's on the microphone. You can choose the fixed option here. That's just going to be a constant light. And then you can choose whatever color you want. So let's say I want green, my light will then turn green. Or you could say I want orange, and it'll be orange. And the fixed option will just keep it that fixed color. Whereas breathing, if you select that, the light is then going to kind of fade and grow and fade and grow, and it'll kind of have more of a breathing effect to it. And then if you choose loop, it'll actually loop through all of the different colors that are here. Now, Maono Link actually comes with its own default set of colors here, which is like white and then basically the rest of the rainbow. And then you can come down here and you can create your own colors. Obviously, you can't do it when it's on loop, but if you change it back to fixed, you can create your own colors in here. And if you click this little option here, you can pick a color that is more actually what you want, like this, and then you can change the light to be that color. Just really cool. You can also adjust the brightness of it so that the light gets so much brighter. But again, keep in mind, if you keep the brightness of the RGB up, then it's going to reduce the amount of battery time that you have. After setting all of this stuff, you can also just come up here and decide whether you want RGB lighting on at all. And if you just turn it off like this, then there's not going to be any RGB lighting on your microphone. So the Maono Link software is just super useful to allow you to be able to just dial in what it is that you want your mic to sound like. And again, Again, it's just such a super useful tool. It allows you to just set it and forget it. You can create whatever profiles you want. You can get the mic to look and sound the way that you want, and then you can just leave it that way. One thing that I really appreciate about this mic is that everything that you need is physically on the mic itself. On the front, you've got a physical gain knob so you can quickly adjust your levels without touching software. There's also a dedicated mute button, which is incredibly useful if you need to instantly cut the mic during a recording or live session. On the back, you've got the power button, which makes switching setup simple. You also have a USB-C port here that does double duty. It's used for charging the mic and for direct USB connections to a computer, a phone, or a tablet. And finally, there's a full XLR output, so you can connect this directly to a professional audio interface. This is what makes the mic feel flexible. It's great for beginners, but it doesn't hold you back as you level up. With the RGB setting turned off, you can get up to 60 hours of battery life with this mic. And of course, that's more than enough for any long recording session. And you can charge it again overnight using that USB-C port so that it's just ready for you the next day to get going again. And of course, if you're like me and you like a little bit of personality and lighting, you can use that RGB setting on the mic and just add a little bit more life to the mic itself. Overall, the design of this mic just feels really solid and well thought out. And just to reinforce this, I've been using this mic in some of my recent videos. I'll link a few of them down in the description below, but you can check out a few of my other videos and see this mic in action. This is definitely not a mic that I just tested once and threw back in the box. I am using this mic. Here's something that I strongly believe. People will forgive imperfect video, but they're not going to forgive bad audio. And this mic right here immediately makes your content feel more professional. After having used this mic for a couple of weeks now, I can genuinely recommend the Maono PD200W. Especially for the price. And right now, if you click that link in the description, you can even get this mic for even cheaper. My final verdict on the Maono PD200W is that I absolutely recommend this mic. I think it's a great mic for content creators, people who want to be able to grow with the microphone. If you're a small content creator or you're just getting into YouTube, this is the perfect mic for you. The price of this mic is insanely cheap for the quality of a mic that you're getting here. You're getting USB plug and play, wireless connection, XLR connection. This mic has so much to offer. I just want to give a big thanks for Maono for sending this mic over to me, giving me a chance to review it. This is definitely going to become the main mic on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button down below because it helps out so much more than you realize. And if you want more product reviews like this that are relevant to content creators and video editors, and you want tips and tricks on how to master the Apple Creator Studio apps, then definitely subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.